Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Awesome. So today we're going to be tackling something that's super relevant to pretty much anyone who's ever, well, had a job. We're talking about employee engagement.
Big topic.
It is, right. And I think it's one of those things that gets talked about a lot, but maybe not always fully understood. Like what really makes people engaged at work? Why should leaders care? And how do you actually make it happen, beyond just like free pizza and casual Fridays?
Way beyond pizza, yeah.
Thankfully, we've got some great insights to guide us today from the HR Discovered podcast. They had some really smart folks on talking all about employee engagement, and I think their perspectives are going to be really valuable for our deep dive today. So, ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first, what is employee engagement? I feel like sometimes it gets thrown around as this like vague buzzword, but it's got to be more than that, right?
Oh, for sure. It's definitely more than just, being happy at work. It's about like a deeper level of connection.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Deeper level of connection, how?
It's about being emotionally invested. Not just clocking in and clocking out, but actually caring about the company, its goals, and feeling like you're a part of something bigger.
So it's not just about liking your job. It's about feeling connected to the bigger picture,
Exactly.
which I guess makes sense. If you believe in what you're doing, you're probably going to be more willing to, go the extra mile, be more creative.
Totally. And that's where it gets interesting for like all the leaders and managers out there. Because there's actually a ton of data showing that employee engagement directly impacts a company's bottom line.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Happy employees, happy customers, right?
That's part of it. But HR Discovered actually cited this Gallup study that found that companies with highly engaged employees are a whopping 23% more profitable. 23%, that's massive.
And no kidding. So it's not just about warm fuzzies. It's about real, tangible results.
Yep. Plus, on top of the profits, engaged teams tend to have lower turnover. People stick around longer, they take fewer sick days, and they even help boost the company's reputation.
So it's a win-win all around.
Absolutely. But think about the flip side, right? What happens when you've got a team where people are just not feeling it? They're disengaged, they're checked out.
It's like a drain on everyone's energy. I've definitely been on projects where you can just feel that lack of enthusiasm and it makes everything harder.
Oh, 100%. And not only does it impact the work itself, but HR Discovered also pointed out that it can actually damage the company's reputation.
Makes sense. If your employees aren't happy, it's probably going to show, whether it's in customer service, how they talk about the company to others.
Exactly. So clearly, engagement is something that companies really need to prioritize, right? Which brings us to the big question.
Hmm.
How do we actually cultivate it?
Right. Like, how do we go beyond the surface level perks and actually create a culture where people feel engaged and excited to come to work?
Oh, that's the million-dollar question. And luckily, HR Discovered had some great insights on this. They talked about a few key strategies that companies can use. One of the big ones they emphasized is the importance of having a strong mission and values.
That makes sense. People want to feel like they're a part of something meaningful, something bigger than themselves.
Exactly. So it's not enough to just have a mission statement hanging on the wall. Companies need to live their values every day and make sure employees understand how their work contributes to that bigger picture.
So it's about connecting the dots between the day-to-day tasks and that overall purpose.
That's a great way to put it. And on a more practical level, they also talked about the importance of open communication.
So making sure people feel heard, that their opinions matter.
Exactly. That could be through regular check-ins with managers, company-wide surveys, team meetings where everyone feels comfortable speaking up.
Yeah, it's got to be a two-way street, right?
Yeah,
Leaders need to be open to feedback, and employees need to feel safe sharing their thoughts and ideas.
totally.
Hmm.
And when people feel heard, they feel more valued, more respected, and ultimately more engaged.
So strong mission, open communication. What else did HR Discovered highlight?
Oh, they had a bunch of great stuff. They talked about how important it is to recognize and reward employees' contributions. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Sometimes even just a simple thank you can go a long way in making someone feel appreciated.
It's funny how something so small can make such a big difference. I know when I've been in situations where my work has been acknowledged, it definitely makes me feel more motivated to keep going.
Right. It shows that people are paying attention and that your work matters.
Exactly. And on that note, what about opportunities for growth and development?
Yeah, yes. That's another huge one. HR Discovered talked about how investing in employees' professional development is a major factor in engagement. It could be through training programs, mentorship opportunities, or even just having clear pathways for advancement within the company.
It shows that you're invested in their future, right? Not just seeing them as a cog in the machine, but as someone with potential who you want to help grow.
That's a great way to put it. And when people feel like they have opportunities to learn and grow, they're more likely to be engaged and committed to the company long term.
It's a win-win. They get to develop their skills, and the company gets a more skilled and engaged workforce.
Exactly. And last but not least, they talked about the importance of prioritizing employee well-being. Because let's be real, it's hard to be engaged and productive when you're burnt out, stressed, and feeling overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, totally. I've definitely been there, and it makes it hard to focus on anything else. What are some ways companies can support their employees' well-being?
HR Discovered mentioned a few things, like encouraging a healthy work-life balance, offering mental health resources, and being flexible whenever possible.
Those are all great things. It all comes back to creating a workplace where people feel supported, both professionally and personally.
Absolutely. And I think what's really important to remember here is that it's not just on the company to create this culture of engagement. It's on everyone. Every individual contributes to the team's overall vibe.
So it's about leading by example, being enthusiastic, communicating openly, supporting your colleagues. Those small actions can have a ripple effect.
Exactly. We all have the power to make our workplaces a little bit more positive and engaging.
Couldn't agree more. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. We've covered a ton of ground, but I think it's clear that employee engagement is a crucial ingredient for any successful company.
Absolutely. And it's an ongoing journey, not a destination. It takes effort, commitment, and a genuine desire to create a workplace where people feel motivated, connected, and valued.
So true. And on that note, we'd love to hear from you. Thinking back on your own work experiences, was one thing you've seen that really boosts engagement, whether it's something a leader did or even something a colleague did? Share your thoughts, because this conversation is far from over.
We're all ears.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.